Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of WinToday with ME. ME is a transformational tour guide, so please keep your arms and legs in your seats at all times. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, ME.
Thank you, Doug. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. So we had a little fun the past few days.
Well, first off, congratulations.
Yes.
Huge congratulations. The book is taken off. I'm seeing all the posts, people taking pictures with it. I'm wearing my WinToday colors, as you can see here. I got my pink pants.
Love it.
With the sea green. I even got a purple drink here. I'm all about WinToday today.
You look beach ready. So yeah, this has been a whirlwind, and I am just so grateful to all of you because the book officially launched on Friday, and literally within 24 hours, it went to a bestseller in 6 different categories and on Amazon. So we are just so thrilled. So just, thank you to all of you out there for making it a bestseller and making it one of the number 1 new releases on Amazon, which again, I'm just learning about this whole Amazon thing and how it all works. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with it.
You look like a pro. You're just learning. It's taken off, and congratulations, much deserved.
It was really cool. So again, this is the book, guys. WinToday, Jersey Girls Guide to Living Her Best Life. And we have these really cool koozies, these can coolers that my man Larry just did for us. Larry at Ideal Impressions. So thank you, Larry, for this. But this is really fun. When these came in, I just got such a kick out of it because I love the cover. The cover is really resonating with a lot of people. And, what I love about this book, and one of the reasons I wanted to write a book such as this. So if you guys see this book, we talk about achieving small wins in the book. And a lot of people who are not readers are saying to me, oh my gosh, Mary Ellen, I couldn't put this book down. I read it in 2 hours and I'm not a reader. So I love the fact that people can feel like they're already winning just by getting through this book. It's easy to read. It's fun. It's lighthearted. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you think about things, be reflective. It'll definitely give you the underbelly of my life a little bit. So I am just so grateful. And here's what's really cool is that not only did the sales of the book take off, but people are giving me the most amazing feedback. I mean, the messages and the texts and the reviews that you were all leaving. And for those of you that have already left reviews on Amazon, I cannot thank you enough. Oh, they really speak to me. And they are a way for people to find my book. I mean, all you guys, my friends and, my followers, you guys know me, you know where to find the book. But say somebody's looking for a win in their life or how to level up in their life, please, please, please take the time to go onto Amazon and leave a review so that people can continue finding the book. The other thing I know a lot of people are using the book to give to loved ones, friends, moms, sisters, colleagues. Use the book, guys. Pay it forward. If you have somebody in your life that maybe is struggling in an area in their life, please take the time and purchase it for them. That's what I love. A lot of people are paying it forward in that way. One of my friends just said, I just bought 5 copies. I'm giving it away as birthday gifts. And my girl, Cheryl, one of my dear friends, she said to me, I am not a reader. I read this in a couple of hours and I'm going to continue using it as a resource. I love that. She said, anytime I'm struggling in my life, I'm going to go back to the chapter that I'm necessarily struggling in and I'm going to continue to use it as a guide. And really, that's what this is. Yes, it's a fun read, but it's also a guide. I find that many people are walking away with how they can create a winning life. It's a blueprint. It gives you the blueprint and a guide where to begin. And I was just walking with my friend Christine this morning, and she was saying to me, Mary Ellen, a lot of people don't know where to begin. And I find that so true. A lot of people have these big ideas. They have these dreams. They have their goals, but they don't know where to start. So guys, that's what this book is. It's a place to begin. It's a place to begin. So before I move on to my topic for today, I'm going to just ask you guys one more time. We have 1 day left for our social media campaign.
Nice.
Thank you, Doug. So
Nice.
Basically, if you put on Facebook or Instagram a picture of yourself holding the book, ordering the book, if you hashtag WinToday book, if you tag me, you get entered into a drawing, and the drawing is a $100 Amazon gift card, which will be drawn tomorrow, plus a free can cooler or a koozie, and that you can take with you this summer. So again, that's tomorrow we will be drawing the final name. So you have 2 days left to go and put that on your Facebook page or Instagram. If you do both Instagram and Facebook, and tag me, you will get 2 entries to win that. So yep. And so that's, and then we have a couple fun things coming up. We have a virtual book club. So many people are messaging me, oh, this chapter resonated with me. So many of you are posting about different quotes from the book. It's really so cool to see different things resonating with different people. So I thought, wouldn't it be a fun idea if on a Thursday we can do a book club? I used to be in a book club when my kids were small. I really miss it. So I said, why don't we do a virtual book club? So next Thursday, the 24th, we are going to do a virtual book club where we can talk about the book. We can ask questions. You can talk about favorite chapters, favorite quotes. We can talk about things that are going on in your own life. I can help you maybe navigate some of those. So that's next Thursday. The event is on my Facebook page. If you want to register for that, it's free. We'd love to see you there. If you want to bring your mother, your sister, your friend, we'd love to see you there. You can bring a cocktail for those that are maybe not choosing to drink right now. That would be me. I'm going to bring a seltzer with me in a nice wine glass. My girl Trish Calabrese always says that. She says, I bring seltzer in a wine glass. I love that idea. So bring an alcoholic drink, bring a non-alcoholic drink, but please just come. And it's an open forum to kind of talk about the book and really share favorite quotes, favorite chapters, and really just talk, guys. I just want to talk about what's going on in your life. What are the areas that you're struggling with? What are the wins that you're accomplishing? What are the areas that you need help with? Let's just have an open dialogue about how you are navigating those things in your life and how you can set a winning wave in motion. So that's next Thursday. I look forward to seeing you all there. And here's the thing, Doug. Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you a question. When you accomplish something great in your life, yes, would you say that you acknowledge it? Would you say that hey, Doug, I did a good job here? Are you good at that?
So before I answer that, because I feel like that's the prequel to your today's talk, right?
That's right.
Before we go there, I want everyone to know too, I'm sure you have a set with the book and the koozie on wintodaybook.com. So if you want, right? So let's make sure we tell everyone about that. Absolutely. And that's right here, wintodaybook.com.
Perfect.
So we make sure we got that out of the way.
Thank you.
Good. With wins, going back to your question, with wins, I feel like wins are, a confirmation of the hard work that you do. But I don't dwell on the win. It's like, all right, what I did here worked. I need to do more of this. And now I'm back into the game.
Love it.
We tend to appreciate the wins, but focus more on the failures and see how we can get better.
There you go. So that's something I struggle with too. And here's the kicker. So I didn't exactly know when my book was going to launch. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know. Again, the way Amazon works, you have to kind of build the back end first, and then all of a sudden it's launch day. We had this weekend planned with our good friends, Ken and Mandy, down in Ocean City, Maryland. Believe it or not, I'm a Jersey girl. So we spend our time at the Jersey Shore. So I don't venture out to other beaches all that much. We loved Ocean City, Maryland. It was an adult playground beyond. We just had so much fun. I was nervous because being away from my comfort zone while this book was being launched. But it was the greatest thing to ever happen to me, Doug, because I don't know if I was here, if I would have celebrated this little victory in my life. And I think that's really important. And when we, in the book, we talk about how to start small, We want to celebrate these small wins. We want to acknowledge these wins so that we can win bigger. That's what the book is all about. Because every time we celebrate a win, no matter how small, it actually releases a hit of dopamine. It's like a feel-good hormone that it releases in our body. And that's very important, guys, because when this hit of dopamine releases in your body, you want to do it again. It's like anything else, right? Anything else that you become addicted to, you want to keep chasing that, right? I don't want to go there, but you want to win again. But because people who are high achievers like myself, who are type A, we don't always do that very well. Because what we do instead, okay, well, I'm moving on to the next thing. And I'm moving on to the next thing. And I never really pause and to give myself a fist bump or a pat in the back, I'm just moving on to the next thing. So I see that as something we really need to work on, just as a group here, guys. We don't celebrate our wins. We don't take stock of when we do something well. And like you said, I think what you said is very powerful. We only magnify our failures. Those are the things that we seem to focus on more than our wins.
Well, that goes with our survival instincts. So if we back in caveman times, if you walked down a certain path and there was a tiger there that would kill you, your brain would hang on to that memory and know that's the path. It's like a survival thing.
Yes.
So having a grand old time at the beach side of the island and nothing happens, you're not going to remember.
Yes.
That's not going to be in your memory as much as the tiger that's down the path.
100%. And so for me, I'm so focused on my bigger goal, or I'm moving on to the next thing, that I don't acknowledge when I've done something well. And this weekend, because I was out of my comfort zone, I was out of my routine, I had no choice but to celebrate. I was with these friends who was all about celebrating me, celebrating our friendship. We went dancing. We had dinner out. We were somewhere new. We played mini golf. I mean, we ate crabs, down in Maryland, and it was fun. And it was the right thing for me to do. And I would not have celebrated like that if I were here. So every time we do something, guys, that's a win. If we don't celebrate that, we teach our brain to think it's not pleasurable, and we don't want to do it again. And so I did a little bit of a research on this. And so I find that a lot of high achievers, probably you're the same way, we cheat ourselves out of this feel-good hormone. Hey, I did something really special here. I did something really good. And I think also for me, it's a guilt thing. I don't know if it's growing up Catholic. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mother thing. I feel, don't be too egotistical. Don't be so big on yourself. Don't be so, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to be, I always want to be humble, but I think that gets lost because I'm so concerned with being humble and grateful. I feel guilty for saying, good job, Mary Ellen. You go, girl. I have this thing where I'm going to talk about later about fist pumping yourself. And so we don't want to cheat ourselves out of celebrating these wins, guys, because we want to give our bodies and our minds a chance to release this feel-good hormone so that we repeat the behavior, right? If we teach our brains not to celebrate our wins, that's what our brain is going to keep telling. Well, this isn't worth doing. This isn't really pleasurable. You feel guilty, Mary Ellen, when you win. Why would you want to do that again? So don't cheat yourself, guys. We want to acknowledge and give ourselves these pats on the back. We don't have to delay celebrating ourselves until we reach the bigger goal, right? So let me give you an example. When somebody in a baseball game, I love these sports analogies kill me. And my husband over here is rolling his eyes because he knows I hate sports for the most part. If he puts a game on TV, I said, why are we watching this? However, it comes into play here. So, somebody in the baseball league, right? One of the Yankees, they hit a home run. What do they do at the home plate? They celebrate. They jump on the plate, right? Their teammates come out to greet them. When somebody in the end zone strikes a touchdown, what do? They celebrate, right?
Striking a touchdown.
Correct. This is exactly why.
Absolutely.
This is exactly why I am not qualified to make these references. But spike it. That's what I meant.
There you
spike
go.
the ball.
All right.
Or dance.
We'll let it slide. It's an S word. We'll let it slide.
He's freaking dying over here. Okay. So what do? They celebrate in the end zone with their teammates. Yeah. They do the dance, whatever. They're not waiting to win the game to celebrate. They celebrate each time they do something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. Would they delay celebrating those little wins during the game to the end? They're not. And so this is also something, when we work with a lot of clients in our industry, we say to them, you need to celebrate these little victories along the way. Don't just wait to hit your big goal. So let's call these little wins out along the journey. And it goes along with, Doug, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and celebrating these small wins, guys, along your path is so, so important. We want to enjoy the process. We want to enjoy the journey. We want to enjoy the climb. We don't just want to appreciate the summit. right? So, and here's the thing. I'm not talking about overdoing it, right? I'm not talking about, above and beyond, because I understand, girl. I get it. You got goals. You got big goals and you want to get there. However, if you don't ride, and we talk in my book about riding these small waves, right? Riding these small waves to get to the bigger waves. But we have to be willing to shout out and stack these little steps along the way to your big dreams so that you repeat the behavior, right? You repeat the behavior. So as I said, you can't imagine these professional sports players not celebrating their little wins during the game, right? Yet we hit these little scores, right? These little touchdowns, these little home runs in our day, in our week, in our month. We have to remember to stop and appreciate them. We barely take a moment to say, you go, girl. You did good here. Good for you. We sometimes wait for other people to give that to ourselves, but we have to be willing to give that to ourselves as well. So I am really working on this because I suck at this. I am the worst because I am a type A person. I'm always grinding. I'm always asking myself, okay, what's next? When we have a wonderful business, and when we first got to a point in our business, most people would be like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I woke up that morning like it was any old morning. I barely even acknowledged it, right? When my book came out, if I wasn't forced to be away because it was on the schedule, maybe we would have gone out to dinner. I don't know. I probably would have had any old normal day.
Well, let me ask you a question. Go into that, and I already know the answer, but let me ask you. So I know if I'm here, I'm in work mode. And
yes.
My mind's in work
yes.
mode. If I'm at home and I still have to do work, I'm in work mode, but that's home, right? And I'm sure it helped you that you weren't around here, that you were away in a different location.
Totally.
I hope I'm not going ahead in your notes.
That's exactly.
Going in a different location to get away from, because if you were home, you'd be in work mode still, business.
1,000%. I almost needed to let the day of the launch play out. If I was home, to your point, I would have been on my phone, and watching the numbers, seeing who bought it. Oh my God, kvetching that this wasn't going right. And I was away, I didn't want to be rude to my guests, so I had to be engaged. And you know what? It was, like I said, it was such a great weekend because it allowed me to celebrate this milestone that I've dreamt about my entire life. And if I were here in this environment, I would not have done it. I would not. And this is why, and again, I did some research on this before we spoke today on this podcast, but this is why people rarely repeat these big wins in their life. When I was really engaged in triathlon and doing these Ironman competitions, I remember I had several friends who kept joking around, well, one and done. That is why, because they don't really recognize, so many friends of mine that took the time to do this Ironman event together. And an Ironman, so for those of you that don't know, it's an endurance event. It's a 2.4 mile swim followed by a 112 mile bike ride, and then a 26.2 mile run, all back to back on the same day. Crazy. However, a lot of people, when they cross the finish line, the finish line is a celebration of the 30 weeks of training, right? And so many times, myself included, got over these finish lines and we were like, oh, thank God, what are we doing next? We're on to the next thing. Or thank God this is done. And we barely acknowledged what we just freaking did. So it kind of plays into here, and acknowledging our little wins in our journey, guys, could be as simple as this, a fist bump. The other day I did a Facebook Live on this fist bump method. So sometimes us women, Doug, what do you do when you first wake up in the morning? What do you do when you first wake up in the morning? I'm just curious.
So, if Master Phil's listening, I would have to say push-ups, sit-ups, and then, drink a coffee. Nice. But, sometimes we don't really do that.
So just because I know my women friends out there, do you look in the mirror and go, I'm fat, or oh my God, my abs, or oh my gosh, I'm ugly or old? From a guy's perspective, I'm just curious. Do you do this at all? Be honest.
So in a guy's perspective, we're focused on something else. So you're this, that, and the other thing is our I gotta go hunt, I gotta go work, what do I need to do today?
I see. Interesting. Okay. Well, I totally. So you're not focused on. So I think and I talked about this the other day, for years,
Yeah.
I used to, upon waking, the first thing I would do is look at my abdominals. Like, and again, for us older women, that could look different depending on which way the wind was blowing that day. You understand? Or what we did the day before. And so one minute it could look totally flat and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have a good day. The next minute it could be, oh, I suck. I'm the worst. I got to go starve myself or whatever. This was the old me, by the way. But instead, we need to wake up the morning and look at ourselves and fist bump each other and say, I rock. I'm amazing. I have something special to give this world, and I'm going to go do that today. So acknowledging our little wins along the way, guys, could be as simple as, you're amazing, girlfriend, or give yourself a pat on the back, or, a self-care day. Say you've accomplished something. Go treat yourself to a mani-pedi, a massage, a dinner out. It could be a weekend getaway. It could be as simple as, I did good today. I journal every morning, and I talk about this in my book, that it's a big part of my morning routine. And sometimes in my journal, I write down, I'm proud of you, Mary Ellen. I get emotional even saying that. I'm proud of you, girl. You did good today. You did good yesterday. You're a good mom. You're a good wife. And that's a very rare thing that women do for themselves. For me, for years, I waited for other people to give me those accolades, right? But now I want to make sure that I'm giving those words and that love to myself, right? It could be a small reward, for people that we work with. If they've achieved a certain milestone in their health, they maybe go treat themselves to a new outfit, a new pair of shoes, a new piece of jewelry. We need to do these little moments of celebrations in our world, so that we don't wait. Eventually, guys, this book, by the way, is a tiny part of my overall vision, my overall goal. If I didn't stop to celebrate this tiny little book that's being sold on Amazon, I don't even know how many have been sold already. But if I don't celebrate this, if I just say, well, listen, I want to be on stage speaking to thousands, I can't really celebrate until I'm there. God, that could take me years. Why wouldn't I want to just acknowledge these little victories along the way? So, and don't feel guilty about it. And women, I'm speaking directly to you. Don't feel guilty about this. Don't feel that you're going to be only self-absorbed. Don't think that you're going to be all that. No one will think that. Listen, because here's the thing. I am not going to go spewing on social media, Mary Ellen, you're the best, to myself, in my head, in my mind, on paper, in my journal. I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge what I've done here, right? It's so important to acknowledge all kinds of wins, guys, so that we continue winning, so that you love how that feels, right? That's the thing. When we celebrate these wins and we get that shot of dopamine, right, that little feel-good hormone, we want to repeat that. We want to feel that way again. We want to make sure that happens again. And so I can get into the habit of grinding and always going to the next. And while I love always challenging myself, I need to take the time to appreciate what I did, how far I've come, the accolades. Don't dismiss or miss the moment, guys. Don't dismiss or miss the moment. One of the things, Doug, I do too in the mornings, my morning routine is very sacred to me. I do a lot of visualization. I don't know if you've ever done this. Do you ever sit and say where you want to go with your life or your business? Or
Yeah, and going with your morning routine, I mean, we're all there's so many paths to go down this road right now.
Yes.
But like the morning, you want to be grateful and be and fist pound yourself, right? Going on social media is probably not the best thing to do first thing in the morning, because you're comparing with things and stuff like that. So yeah.
And I talk about this in my book. I call it Sunrise Self-Care and how to prioritize your morning. But one of the things that I do is I do visualization. I visualize myself accomplishing big goals in my life, right? So this takes a lot of work. It's hard to visualize. You want to get very specific. You want to get very detailed, right? It takes a lot of work. I picture myself winning, right? I picture myself winning. So, I quickly start playing this winning, story in my head. It's like a virtual vision board. So if I don't acknowledge, for example, I envisioned when this book would come out. I remember in my head what it would feel like, what it would look like, seeing it on Amazon, seeing it, holding it for the first time, who would be reading it, who would be shouting it out on Facebook or Instagram. I pictured that in my mind. Could you imagine if I actually didn't celebrate when that actually happened? it's like I just wasted all those mornings and all that
Yeah.
visualization effort. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why would I take the time to play this virtual vision board in my head if when it actually came to fruition, I didn't say, oh my God, it's here. It's happening. It's coming to life. It's coming into reality. That's why we have to stop and celebrate these things, guys. You want to link your gifts and your wins to that feeling, that feel good hormone, that feel good feeling. We want more of that. And it's like a winning wave, and which I acknowledge a lot in the book, right? Once we feel good about acknowledging our wins, it will be a wave that keeps crashing on the shore and repeating itself and repeating itself. And so we want to repeat that behavior. And I talk about this in the book. And if you go to wintodaybook.com, you can see I talk in the book about winning wowzers. So winning wowzers is more than just a to-do list. It's more than just a checklist. It's things that you want to do in your day that is going to make you say, wow, I did that today. So let's start acknowledging our wins on our winning wowza checklist. Our winning wowza checklist are little things that we want to feel good about in our day, right? I feel good. Like this morning, I had a great talk and a walk and a coffee with one of my best friends. That's a winning wowza. And so I put that on my list. I knew that was happening today. I put walk with Christine. I checked it off, right? This podcast is always on my winning wowza list. I know when I'm coming here, I'm going to feel good about it. Check that off. I'm going to sit and I'm going to read a chapter of my book this afternoon in the sunshine. That's a winning wowza. Sure, grocery shopping and paying our bills are to-dos. They wouldn't go on your winning wowza checklist. We have to do those. And they don't always necessarily make us feel wow. But winning wowza should be, I'm going to treat myself to a manicure today. I'm going to treat myself to a phone call with my mom. I'm going to, register for that women's seminar that I want to go to. I'm going to sign up for Mary Ellen's virtual book club next Thursday, June 24th, right? These are the things that I want to put on my winning wowza list. So if you go to wintodaybook.com, you will see that. It's going to be up later today. But again, all along the same lines of acknowledging and stacking these wins. Please, guys, along your journey, appreciate those wins, no matter how small. You might say that's insignificant. Again, I always equate things back to our clients that we work with. If somebody goes to a social outing and they stay on track with their nutrition and their health, they might not think that's a winning wowza, but I do. That's a big victory to some people, right? You onboarding a new client that you've been working on, and you've had this client in your sights and you wanted to work with them. You saw them as a good strategic partner, Doug. And when they actually say, Doug, let's do this thing, that's a wowza for you. That's something you want a moment to, I did good because of my ability and my skill set. They want to work with me. That's a wowza for you. So important, guys, to pause, to say, good job, girl. Fist bump yourself. You go, girl. You're amazing. You did this. You accomplished this. Don't wait for other people to acknowledge that. Don't wait for accolades from other folks. And while those are all great, I'm not going to lie. And again, I love that. I am loving people posting about my book. I am loving people saying how their book has really touched them. I am loving when they hashtag wintodaybook.com. I am loving the private messages, the text messages, the emails. I'm going to be interviewed by News 12 today, which will be airing on Monday, about my book. It's gotten that much buzz. I am so just stoked by all of that. I need to pause at the end of each day on this journey, because this isn't going to last forever. At some point, the buzz is going to die down and I'm going to go back to my old routine, and the honeymoon phase will be over. So that's why it's so important to appreciate all of it right this second when it's happening. And it might not seem like a big deal to you guys at the time, but I promise you, the more frequently you say, you did good today, girl. You go, girl. You won today. You won this moment. The easier acknowledging those wins will become, so that, again, like a wave that's just building on each other, it's just going to keep momentum going. And you're going to be able to acknowledge these wins and then stack them. And it's going to crash over into all areas of your life. So,
and it will attract more wins, right? You're manifesting, you're attracting those vibrations. More will come your way, right?
1,000%. And we talked about that, I think was two episodes ago, about your vibe attracts your tribe. Well, your vibe also attracts what comes your way, right? So your vibe, right? We talked about a why and a vibe. You have to be vibrating at this high frequency, right? And we talked about using gratitude to do that. We talked about gratitude a lot to do that. But it's also about again, you did good. And guys, here's the thing. And Doug, you mentioned this earlier. We only seem to focus on your failures. And we talk about this in the book. We can also use failures and turn them around as wowzers, right?
Mhm.
So failures are not failures. They are learning opportunities.
Mhm.
So when, again, I always call on my parenting skills or lack thereof, just when one child is on the right path, another child is struggling, right? It's just the way that parenting goes. I'm sure a lot of you moms and dads out there can freaking relate to this story. I have been on such a high because my two girls are finally settled and they're, the pandemic is over. They're going to be going back to college campuses next year. I felt like a badass mother, right? And then just when I was on top of the world, another kid kind of is struggling right now. And that's just the way it goes. But it was a learning opportunity for me because, my son opened up to me about some things that he was going through. I said, no, this is a win right now. Yes, I'm feeling like a shitty mother once again, but it's not that. And I'm celebrating the fact that he was comfortable enough with me as a mom to open up and tell me really what's been going on. So again, I could have looked at this like a failure today, but instead I chose to look at it like a win. Okay, he was open to speak to me. He was trusting me enough to really open up his heart. He was also trusting enough to maybe shed a few tears. So again, the old Mary Ellen would have said, oh, what a failure. I'm so sucky as a mother. But instead I said, no, this is a win because I now have a window into what's going on with him. So we can also flip that script, guys, right? It's all how we position things. And we talk about this a lot in Win Today. Being positive, you can be positive, and it's a choice, right? It's a choice to be positive and to turn failures or down moments into wins and wowzers. But you have to acknowledge it when it happens, Doug, to your point. If you don't stop and acknowledge these things, it won't get repeated. The behavior won't be repeated, and the universe will not pick up on it. So yesterday, when I acknowledged the fact that I actually had dialogue with my 16-year-old son, which those of you that have teenagers, the fact that it's any conversation beyond a grunt or a, what are we having for dinner is a miracle, a freaking miracle. That was a win for me. And so now the universe is going to deliver me more wins with my son, and we're going to have more dialogue. So that's it, you guys. Celebrate you, fist bump you, appreciate you, all the small steps in your journey. And when you do that, more things that you have to celebrate will come your way. So that's all I have for you today, guys.
I'll fist bump to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So guys, remember, last day, post on social media, hashtag wintodaybook.com, tag me. For those, a drawing tomorrow. And I'm not going to be the one picking the drawing. Just so you know, it's not fixed. So I pick out my bestie, right? Or I pick out Doug, or I pick out my husband. It's going to be picked by a random participant, right? Anybody that put a post on Facebook with the book will get an chosen out of a raffle, $100 Amazon gift card and a koozie mailed right to you. And that's tomorrow. So you have 24 hours left to do that. If you post on Instagram and Facebook, you get 2 entries. So, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, those that love the book already. And I'm so glad it's resonating. So many things when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, did I really write that? Oh my God, did I really say that? Oh my God, what is this person thinking? But hey, listen, that's what makes it great, right? I really lay it all out here, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So I hope that you guys have a lot. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed writing it. I loved this process, and writing it really was therapeutic for me. And I hope that it's therapeutic for you. I wanted to feel like a warm hug from an old friend that you can pick up and go back to anytime to make you feel amazing. I hope it makes you feel amazing. And I hope it makes you walk away that you are not alone, and what you're going through and what you're feeling, so many people are feeling the same things. And so thank you for all your kind words. And guys, share it, because the more people that have this book, the more that we can create a winning world that we live in. And
Love
that's
it.
That's
Awesome.
it. Thank you, Doug, once again. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. Appreciate you.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
All right.
It's a wrap.
Catch you next time, guys.